let's get cracking here with planning your trip. This is going to be one of the more fun pages on building your website because you're going to get into some of the meat of how to plan a trip to your country. So let's start off by looking at our checklist. Checklist is step one is to book your flight. You're flying out of SFO, which stands for San Francisco. Let me just put that here, San Francisco International Airport. Okay, so the directions tell us to go to kayak.com, which if you've never been to Kayak, kayak.com is a website which allows you to search for flights. So you might already be in the wrong section over here, so make sure you're clicking on flights. Okay, so I'm flying from, not from Fresno, even though that's my closest airport. Flying from SFO. So you type it in, you just click it like that. And then my country is Mexico, so I'm going to fly to Mexico City. Now let's see if this project has specific dates. No, so you get to pick your dates when you're going to travel. All right, so Mexico City, great. And I'm going to go as soon as we get off. So what's interesting about this is when you look at these will tell you how much the tickets are. So I'm going to fly from the 7th of June to the 21st of June, so 2 weeks. Round trip, one adult, economy, great, search. All right, let's see what it gives us. So now what it's doing is it's searching for you the different flight options you will have. Okay, so let's see, we got $361. That is apparently the best. So you see there's best, cheapest, etc. So we'll go ahead and click on this one since it's the best. Select. All right, because this is the thing that we're going to explore. Okay, so let's leave it right here. And now let's go back to our website. Planning your trip. Okay, so double click on the center and type in the heading fonts. Okay, so we'll double click, text, heading, go to the center, and type in flights. All right, so now what does it ask us to do? Now we need to build that normal size font. We're going to copy and paste these questions. I always find it easier just to copy and paste the questions directly on. And we're actually going to change that to subheading. Okay. So we'll just create spaces for each of these so we can answer them one at a time. And I'm going to change this to subheading. You see, even teachers work on stuff as they creates things, okay, in the subheading font. Okay, so let's go through each one of these. Where you will be landing in your destination country. I will be landing at. Let's go back to our description over here. Oops. Let's go back to this. I'll be landing in Mexico City. If we click down, we'll actually see this. So I'm just going to copy this part right here. And remember when you're pasting from another source, you want to make sure to do Command Shift or Control Shift V. That way it stays the same font. So I'll be landing in Mexico City at this particular airport. Okay. How long will the flight take? The flight will take, let's go back and look how long it will take. Take 4 hours and 35 minutes. Okay. Flight will take 4 hours and 35 minutes. Great. How much will the flight cost? Okay, so this is round trip. And it's going to cost us basic economy, then there's economy, and then there's economy plus. So we're just going to go basic because we want to spend all of our money in Mexico City getting tacos and not on our flight, so we're going to buy this ticket. So $361. Let's go back. The flight will cost, I'll put the little 361. Great. If there are layovers, where are they? Do we have any layovers? Nope. Nonstop. So whenever it says nonstop, that means there's no layovers. A layover is simply where you have to change planes because whatever plane you got on can't get you to that destination. So you're taking multiple planes. So in our case, it's nonstop. So we're just going to go back here and write the flight is nonstop. Okay. What airline will you be flying with? That's our last question here. The airline we'll be flying with is United Airlines. So come back here and write, I will be flying on United Airlines. Great. So we've gotten the first thing down, our flights. Excellent. Now let's go to step 2. So step 2 is to figure out what money is used in your country. Insert the word money in the center using the heading size. Below that, insert a picture of the money in your country. Okay, so we'll start with that. So we'll double click, go to the center, type in heading, type in money, and then below that, we'll add an image of the money in Mexico, which is pesos. So let's just go to Google image search. We'll type in pesos. All right, let's see what we come up with. So some of these are Mexican pesos. There's also pesos, obviously, from different places. So we'll go ahead and insert that. That's a gross scab right there. All right, so let's go back to the checklist here. It says, okay, then look up the dollar to conversion rate with your money. Use this link. So let's go ahead and click the link. All righty, so currency converter. So $1, we want to convert that to, let's see, we'll type in Mexico. Oops, pop up. Mexican peso, convert. What do we got? So $1 equals 19.83 Mexican pesos. Okay, so what is it asking us to do here? Okay, you can figure out how much $1,000 equals in the currency of your country. Okie dokie. So the currency of our country, how much? All right, so let's go back here. $1,000. So that equals 19,838.77 pesos. So I'm just going to copy that. Well, let's just copy the whole thing, make it easier on ourselves here. It's being difficult. So let's, oh, there, I got it. I got it. There's too many pop-ups on this website, clearly. Okay. So we'll just double click here. We'll write in the subheading format, 1,000 US dollars equals, and then 19,000 pesos. All right, so we've gotten money done. This is fabulous. Okie dokie. So next one, step 3, to pick 5 cities to visit. Using your research as your guide, pick 5 cities. They can be random or strategic. It's up to you. Type in the center 5 cities. Okie dokie. So let's go here to 5 cities. Double click on the screen here. I'm going to come over here, put it center, add the heading. 5 cities. Okay, now I'm just going to do one of these as your example before we go on to the next section. So we'll start with Mexico City. Okay. And it might be actually helpful to create these in a different section here. Boop, 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 boop. You know, actually, what we're going to do for these is use this layout here. So number 1 is Mexico city. We need to add an image. Select an image, and we'll come up here to where it Google image search. Mexico City. Hit enter. Look at that beautiful place. Okay, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Okay. So we've got our first city, we've got our picture. Now let's see what it's going to ask us to do next. Okay, so pick 5 cities to visit, type each name of the 5 cities, a number next to them, great. Below each of the cities' names, write 1, 2, 3, and next to each of them, pick 3 places you'd like to visit here. Your best bet here is to Google each of the cities' names. Man, I've just got some typo. And things to do there. Okay, great. So let's Google it. Let's say things to do in Mexico City. Great. So TripAdvisor is one of the most common ones. And these are suggestions both from people that have traveled there, but also expert travelers. So let's look and see what their lists are. So the National Museum of Anthropology, that sounds very interesting to me as a teacher. Yes, the Palace of the Arts, that looks wonderful. The Zocalo, that looks fun. Ooh, this looks like a cool museum. So I'm just going to pick a couple of these. I like parks. So let's start with this museum of, let's see, Natural History Museum. Let's start with that one. Okay, so I want to go to that one. So come back here, type in my numbers, the Natural History Museum. Okay, so I could have wrote them in Spanish, but I'm just going to choose to write them in English. Let's see. So historical churches, that looks interesting. So the Basilica of St. Maria. So let's go back here. The Basilica of St. Maria. And then last one, let's go to that park. That's a good idea. So let's see. Oh, no. I want to actually do this. I want to go see some murals of Diego Rivera, who's one of the more famous artists from Mexico. So murals of Diego Rivera. Great. So let's make sure that we've included everything we need to. So yeah, and so that's it for that section. Okay, so you're going to do that with 4 more cities. Again, TripAdvisor is a great resource here. Now, step 4 is to pick 3 nature destinations. Okay. All right, so this is pretty simple. We're going to go back here and put, just like before, in the center here, using the heading size font, nature destinations. Okay, and then we need, we're going to choose actually this one right here, this wonderful formatting, because we're going to add a picture, what it's called, and then why we want to visit. And then we'll keep it really simple and pretty. Okay, so let's, so again, we can Google things if you know things. You know, you can do that as well, but you know, Google is a resource for a reason. And when you're looking about when you're looking for things like nature destinations, sometimes Google can give you something better than like an encyclopedia. So let's look through these and see which ones look most interesting. Ooh, that looks really cool. So I want to do that. So let me just highlight this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to Google so I can add some pictures. Actually, I can probably just insert it directly on my site here, make it really simple for myself. So I hit the plus sign, select an image. All right, and then put it in here. Oh, no, that's, I'm going to search through my Google Drive. I have to go to Google Image Search. Okay. Let's see what we get. Ooh, yeah. Look at those waterfalls. Man. Some great options here. So I'll take that one. Gorgeous. And so then we'll put here what it is. And I love waterfalls and would love to explore the mineral baths. Great. Perfect. And so now we just have to do 2 more nature destinations, and then we're done with that step. Easy peasy. Okay, and then step 5 is food. What a wonderful thing. So let's type in food. Go to the center here. Use the heading font and type in food. Perfect. And let's see what it's asking us to do. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. All right. So, all right. Type in the center food. Below the center, type 1 through 5. Next to each number, picture the food item. So we're going to use the same formatting we're going to use for the 5 cities. So we're just going to go like this. And we need to pick out the food items. So let's see what it's asking us to do. So next to each number, add a picture of the food item you plan, its name, and a description of what it is. Okay, so let's go through each of them. So for me, the first one is black mole. And we're going to go here and select an image. Now these things can be what you've researched, but you also might need to Google most exciting food items in your country as a list. But hopefully you already have a sense from your culture page of the things you might want to try. So I'm going to type in black mole. Not a black mole. Hopefully I don't get a bunch of black moles. Ew! Wrong one. I think I need to type in the Spanish word. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay. So this is one of the richest and most flavorful of moles from Mexico. It is both slightly sweet and also savory. Now, if you're struggling with this, obviously you can Google things. You know, Googling here makes a lot of sense. Best foods to try when visiting Mexico. And then I can just, you know, go through it like this. This will give me descriptions and pictures. So if you haven't researched already, you know, you can do something like this. That's also an option for you. And so if we go back to the project, I'll just need to add a few more things here. So you can see we've got our different things that we're going to focus on in our trip to our country. So please follow the guidelines and the instructions and fill this out as you go.